Hello everyone. Sorry I couldn't publish this yesterday. It's been a crazy week and the next month is going to be pretty busy for me too. So this will be my only video this week, and once I finish building Adventureland, that will probably be my last project for the year, except for a special Christmas video that I'm hoping to do. I'm just not going to have time for anything else until January. But for today, I'm back in my Adventureland toy box, and I'm going to build Tarzan's treehouse. And to help me, I've brought along Spot. He's going to be my stand-in for a young Tarzan. Now, the tree and the treehouse pieces in Building Sets Group 1 are probably among the most difficult to use. It isn't obvious how to use these pieces to build a good-looking tree. I find the Ewok village pieces to be much easier to work with. But you can build some neat things with these tree pieces, so I'm going to give you a little tutorial on how to use them while I show you how to build Tarzan's treehouse. Now, obviously I'm trying to build something that closely duplicates the Disneyland attraction, but I want you to know you can use the techniques I show you here to build any kind of huge tree you want. So as we get started, I've already placed the base down in the previous video, and that's this piece here. And again, you place that all the way around. We're going to work on the trunk of the tree first, and we're going to put down, oops, yeah, 2 of these. But first, 1 layer, and then the next layer. Oops, that didn't rotate all the way. And I'm not sure why they chose to do this in quarters. I don't know why you would do just a quarter of a tree, but at any rate, that's what they did. Alright, and then the next piece here we're going to put down is this one. And this is going to go right up here on this piece like this. And again, we're going to do this 2 high. And then the next size up will be this piece. Make sure that's centered. And we're going to do 2 of those. And you can rotate these so they don't look quite so repetitive on either side. Alright, so there is the main trunk of our tree. Again, you can make yours as high as you want. You can do whatever. But these are the pieces that you use for the trunk. We also have these pieces, which I'm going to use shortly. The next thing I'd like to do is come over to this very large treehouse branch, and I like to use these to put in the branches of the treehouse. So this first piece we're going to put down over here on this end of the tree, all the way down here to the bottom edge of the pieces we just put in, like that. Alright, and we're going to put one on the other side as well. Then we're going to come up a level. We're going to put another one up here, and this time it's kind of on the seam between the 2 trunks there, like you see there. I'm going to do the same on either side. And you can put as many of those as you want. You can stagger them. I've got these kind of evenly spaced on either side, but you could put one higher, you could put one lower. I would not do that, of course, for this tree, because we're doing Tarzan's treehouse here, but I'm just saying for any kind of large tree you want to build, you have some options. Alright, so there is that. Now we're going to need to be able to get up onto this tree, and there's a specific way you do that at Disneyland. There's like a separate little tree that you climb. And so to kind of give us a way to get up here, we're going to build another little branch out over here using these pieces. And actually not that one, sorry. going to use this one, I think. Yeah. That's the one we want to use. I've got a bazillion screen grabs here. I'm trying to find the right one. Okay. So these are the small branches here and the large branches, and then we have these canopy pieces. So we have this little tiny one, we have a medium one, and we have a very large one. I'm going to put in a medium one here. I'm going to stick it right on the end of this, just like that. So I'm kind of continuing the branch, and I'm turning it this way because I want to continue building off of the end of that. So this is kind of a little branch that's just going to go off to the side there, like you see. And then we're going to come back and pick up the small treehouse branch. And I'm going to put this on here. So what you can see is I'm using these pieces to build branches for the tree. You have very large branches like this, and then you have smaller branches that you can use to build whatever kind of twisty pieces you might need to support the structures that you want. And in my case, we're building a treehouse fort, so that's why I'm laying this out this way. But if you're just building any tree, you can use these to lay it out any way you want. Alright, we're going to take a little break on the tree, and we're going to come over and pick up this piece here. And I want to put this underneath here so that you can see the left edge is right on that seam. I want to go half a little nudge back like that. And let's see, where is this positioned? Yeah, like that. And then as far as coming out, gotta find that piece. Okay, yeah, it's hanging off of the edge a little bit. Like that. So I'll try to rotate it to give you a good look at it. So that's how we want to orient that piece. Okay? And then we're going to come over to our little rope bridge. We're going to connect that to the edge of this piece, and I'm going to put 2 of these in like this. And then if we come back over to the left, we've got that spiral staircase. We're going to grab this and put this in here, and this sits in just like that. Okay, so there is the entrance to get into our treehouse, and this models what we have at Disneyland. And we'll put some additional decorations on that. I'm going to move this bridge over, but I'll show you why first. So we're going to put a treehouse crow's nest here, and you can see that it's colliding with that bridge. So we need to move this bridge over temporarily to get this out of the way, so that we can place this here, and I'm going to rotate it like that so the little blue ore is facing out that way. This little blue piece right here. And then we can put this back. Alright, so that gets us up into the tree. The next thing we want to do is put in an additional bridge. This is going to get us up to the treehouse platform that we're going to put in now. And this sits right here on the end of that bridge, and you can see it sits right on top of that branch. So I've built my tree in such a way that this branch supports that platform. So that's what we have there. And I'm just moving ahead to my screen grab. Right, so this, you'll notice that little branch piece underneath is not perfectly centered on this. It is in this direction, but not that direction. And that's fine. All right. Now, I'm going to put this piece centered on that branch. We're going to put one centered on each of these large branches up here. This is going to be our tree house. It's just the way I chose to do mine. There we go. All right, let's see. There should be a staircase here somewhere. If I can find it, there it is. I don't know why this isn't located with the other pieces, but we're going to place this piece here like this, and then that's going to allow us to connect a rope bridge up to this platform like that. And we'll go ahead and put a little closed room here. And I think I like it with the yellow facing like that. I'm going to put mine like this. And we'll put the little windows here on this side just to kind of give this an interesting look. Like that. Okay. So there we go. So now we're able to get up into the tree. We'll go ahead and pick this bridge piece up and put it down. And we can connect up the rest of these pieces to the center. Like that. Okay, so there is the tree house. But the tree looks pretty sparse. So this is where we go to work now, filling in the rest of the tree. So this actually looks like a tree and not like they really butchered a tree to put this thing in here. Because the idea is you kind of hide the fact that you're living in the tree from things that might be hunting you on the ground below. All right, so probably the best place to start with this is going to be the lower branches here. So let's start with this piece over here. I'm going to come back over to this side and let's grab this little branch. And actually we're going to grab this little curve. And you'll notice there's little branch pieces on the ends of the on the sides of these platforms. So we can connect up little branches to that, like you see there. And of course, you're not going to make this look the same on every side because trees don't grow uniformly. So you want to make sure you're not doing the same thing on every side. So for this side, we'll put in this really large branch like that. And then on the other side, I think I'm using this large. Can't go that close. And this is where we may have to move some things around here a little bit. If I'm using this large piece, I can't quite tell. I think I am. Yeah, I think it's this piece. Yep, that's the piece. Okay, so we're going to move this out of the way temporarily. And we're probably going to do that with this little piece too. And you're going to find as you're working with these tree pieces that you're going to have to do this a lot. You want to try to put the big pieces in first, and then come back and fill in little pieces like this. The bounding boxes for the larger pieces aren't very forgiving. Some of them are, some of them are not. So there we go. And so what you can see is we've kind of built a little continuation of the tree past that platform, and it's starting to look like that's actually sitting in a tree and not just out up on top of a chopped off branch. All right, so for the next one, that'll be this one over here. Come back once again to our large branch. We want to line it up with that, with the middle of that platform, like so. And you don't have to connect them just that way. There are some other things you can do. So, for example, I'm just looking at this. I think I did. I have got so many screenshots here, it's kind of hard to see what I did. Okay. So one thing you can do is come over and put in other little things like this. If the branches below will allow you to do that, this one will not. You could put in little things like this. You'll notice the ends of these. Let me go ahead and drop that piece and I'll show you what I mean. The ends of this are squared off. So it's square on this corner, it's square on this corner, which means you can build off of any of those. So you can place that piece there, and then you can connect off another piece off to the side, like this. And so it's not quite so repetitive when you do it that way. And I'm actually not going to do that because I'm going to run into this branch here if I do. But I just wanted to show you that you have some options, and we're going to do this in other parts of our tree here as we move on. But for right now, let's go ahead and put this right up here against the edge of this, like that. All right. So that's looking pretty good. All right, coming down, whoops, move my screenshot here off to the side. Actually, I think I had the smaller branch here. So yeah, you can do it this way. Let me go ahead and show you the other option. This is the way I actually had it. So we can put the smaller branch in here like this, and then we can put another branch over here off the end of this one like that. So you have a lot of different ways you can connect these to make some interesting combinations of branches going all kinds of different ways. So hopefully that gives you some ideas of how to use those branches, and you'll see some more as the video goes on. All right, so we're going to come around to this one now, and on this one, yeah, this one we are going to do just that. So over on this side, we're going to drop this piece in here off the end like that. This one we're going to drop over here like this. Actually, it doesn't really matter, but I think what I want to do instead, let's move this over. And it's probably going to complain. Nope. You see that piece? Oh, because it's not actually colliding with this. Okay. So that puts in a nice little end over there. And that looks like a tree, so that's really good. And it's not just something sticking off the end of this. We've got lots of different things going here. So there's that. And then over on this side, whoops, where am I? Okay. And over on this side, we'll go ahead and put one of these in. Sorry about the delay. Like I said, I've got so many screen grabs here, it's really hard to keep track of what I'm doing. Now another thing you can do with these, as you see we have these huge branches here. You can put some little shoots off of that as well. And that is a good thing to do. So we're going to put one down. Can't really go too low. We'll go like that. And actually I think I'm going to cover up that little red thing there on the side of that branch. And that just kind of fills in the tree a little bit, which I think helps. And we can do some more of that as we go along, but let's finish up this branch over here first, and then we can see where we can put some additional things. So we'll put one in over here. I'm going to put one in on this side. Again, you want to try to line them up with the branch that's there. And that leaves us room down here now where we can connect up one of these down here. And I think we'll put it there, like that. And that just fills in the tree. So I like the way that's going. All right. This one over on this side, we're going to put one of these up here, like this. And then the large one. Have to kind of move the camera around to make sure you're connected. There we go. Connected up to the other branch. Okay, so that is looking good. And then once again, I'm going to place one of these down here. Just to kind of fill that in a little bit. And actually, let's move this up there. Okay. All right. Now, the next thing I want to look at is the fact that you get up to these upper ones here, and there's no canopy over top of them, and there should be, which is why I built the tree up higher, because you want this to feel like it's enclosed in a tree. And even this, there's nothing hanging directly above this part of the tree. So the tree has to go higher than the tree house where you're building. And so that's why we have these pieces over here. And just trying to pull up my screenshots here. Okay. So over on this end, I think we can fit in one of these large branches over here. Maybe. Thought I had this in here, but now that I'm looking at this, it doesn't look like I did. Unless it was the small one. Might have been the small one I stuck in here. Yeah, so you can fit some of these in, but I think I'm going to wait on that. I'm looking at my screen grabs here, and there's a definite progression that you need to follow to fill this in if you don't want to end up with branches that are kind of dead-ended. Alright, so on this upper one, we're going to leave this side empty for the moment. This side is going to be the front of the ship, and this side is where we're going to build branches. And so the way I'm going to do that, oh, there it is. We're going to start with this straight branch, because we haven't used this too much. We've been using those other branches a lot. So we're going to start with that one. And then we're going to use this small treehouse branch, kind of go off the end of that, like so. And then we're going to use the large branch. And I'm actually going to sit this right on top, because again, underneath, that whole end of that is blocked. So you can put that on the side, you can put that on the top like that. And that's what I'm going to do here. And then this one can sit off of the end like that. And we can put a small one off on this side. That will fit in over here next to the little house there. And we can put another one in over here. I don't think we can put the large one in. Yeah, because that's colliding with everything. Oh no, hey. Now see, isn't that weird how now it's colliding, but it'll let you put that one in. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I think I had the smaller one in there, but since it'll let us do that, no reason we shouldn't. And so now you're starting to get some tree branches above the tree house where you're at. So that's a good thing. And on this side, as I said, we have the front of the ship. That makes for a nice balcony overlooking the stores below. So that's kind of cool. All right. Now off of the middle section, let's find my screenshot here for this. I gotta go through quite a few pictures here to get to that. Okay, here we go. We're actually going to start over here off of this main branch. We're going to start with this small treehouse branch, and we're going to go right here. And I'm going to put this right up against the trunk of the tree like that. And then we can grab a large branch. And that'll sit right up there like that. And you'll notice it wouldn't let us go too much farther this way, because then we're running into stuff. Which is kind of weird, but doing that puts some tree branches over top of this area here. So it feels like the tree is growing up and around you. And so you can fit in little branches like this anywhere you can and connect up the trees just to kind of enclose the area. And so that's what I'm doing there. All right, and then the next piece, let's see, where is this? I've got these screenshots. Can't quite tell where I took them. Okay, that's where that is. All right, so back to our small treehouse branch. We're going to build this one right up off the end of this piece right here. I can't really put too much down here because I don't want to get in the way of the player running around, but we can put them up here. And that's what we're going to do with this. And I'm going to put another one over here. This one will go off of the top piece there. And then back to our branches. Before I go all the way around, let's go ahead and finish these off. So this one's going to sit up here like this. We've got one of these. It's going to sit over here like this. And then we can fit some smaller ones in. Connect that in there like that. Connect one in here like this. And just kind of fill this in as best we can. And you can't do a whole lot because you run into these kinds of issues, but you know, do the best you can with what you got. All right, so there is that. And then on the other end, let's see. That's just showing the same thing. Okay. Over here, we're going to put another small branch in. Like that. And sometimes you're going to run into these issues. So you kind of have to move the camera around to try to get that performance meter down, because I'm starting to get in a lot of shapes. One of the best things to do is point the camera off in a direction where there are fewer pieces, so there's nothing over in that direction. There's a ton of stuff in that direction, and you can see the meter climbs because it's trying to render all of those trees and everything out there in the jungle ride. But over this way, there's nothing but the buildings, and so that little activity meter falls. So sometimes you'll have to move this camera around a little bit to be able to figure out where you can build. But on this end, we're going to put in one of these up on top of this, like that. And we're going to do something a little bit different over on this end. I believe we have got this one in like this. So that puts some tree here in the middle, and it doesn't collide with anything. This piece then can sit right up off the end of that, like so. And you can see that covers up that building there pretty well. So we're just building a really nice canopy throughout this tree. And you don't want to go too nuts here, but I can fill in something there. I can stick in that. And I'm just trying to fill the canopy in. That's really all we're doing here. And so now, as we're down inside here, we have shade because there's foliage up above us. And that's really what you want. This area is still kind of open over here, though. So one of the things we might consider doing, let's see, can we build off of here somehow? If we take this piece back out, we probably could put something over here. And sometimes you just have to play with this to try to get something in here that will work. Of course, don't forget you have these little pieces. So you can use these to kind of twist the branches around to get into an area where you can connect something up without colliding with it. So you're still running into stuff there. Still running into stuff there. That's okay. We'll just extend this out a little bit more. And then we're just trying to figure out a way that we can hook this up. So that'll sit there like that. Can we put one off the end over here? Let's see, where is that connecting? Oh, it is connecting. Okay, so put that in there. There you go. So now we have some shade over top of this one here. And if we want something out over this way, we can work on that too. Maybe get this small branch in here if we can. So we got to build it out a little bit more. And by the way, I'm actually off script right now, in case you hadn't figured that out. Because this part of the tree, this branch I'm working on right now, did not exist in my original toy box. But there's nothing to say I have to make this exactly like it was. I kind of like the idea of having some more shade over here and enclosing the area above the tree house there. This piece will sit right in there, and there we go. So now when you're down here, you got some shade and you got lots of tree up above you. So that's really good. All right, how we doing on time? Oh wow, really going slow here today. All right, just a few finishing details. We need some lights up here, and fortunately we have these treehouse lanterns. So you can connect these up and place them along here. They're little branches. So you can put these along lots of different areas here. Try to connect them. We can put them up here, potentially. And the more little places you can find to put these, it's a good thing. I'm not going to use too many though, because on my Wii U I'm going to need to save a little memory yet. Alright, and then the base of this needs a little bit of help. So let me go grab my final screenshots here, and we'll put in the base and we'll call it good. Alright. So back to the plants drawer. We're going to move this right in here like that. Followed by, let's see, this one's going to sit in here like this, and it's running into that piece of tree, so I got to style this first. This one is going to use the Jungle Book theme for this jungle corner terrain. And now the bounding box for that should let me put this right in here like this. We'll flip it and put another one in right there. This one should be using the Pirates of the Caribbean theme. Like that. Over on this end, we're going to use Fantasy Terrain 1. We're going to drop this in here, and I need to get this just right. So hold on a second while I find that screen grab. Here we go. Alright, so that's actually pretty close right there. And we're going to place another one of these. Let's go ahead and place them first before I style them. And these are going to use the pirate theme as well. And then to call attention to the fact that that is the entrance, let's go drop one of these over there. So I'll pick that up and put it down. And put another one right over here off the end of this. About like that. I don't think I can go any closer. Right. And that kind of helps mark the entrance to the treehouse. So there we go. That's all for Tarzan's treehouse. Next time I'll build the entrance to Frontierland from here and finish the build exercise for this toy box. Until then, I want to thank you for watching my video today. You can do a lot of cool things with these tree pieces, and I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If so, please give it a like and leave a comment to let me know. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you go if you haven't done that already. That's all for me today. Have a great week.